All right, so Blue Block is back, and this is actually the second episode, so we actually get some gameplay as far as soccer gameplay here, and this is where Blue Lock really shines. We take over with Isagi as he analyzes the playing field. Now that we've gone through him, he's able to see things a lot clearer and know kind of how to play with people. You saw it as the beginning of the episode where he starts playing off of Ren because he's played with Ren before as a teammate, and then that gets shut down by number 3. But before we get into that, let's definitely make sure to get into, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, because that is definitely what is most effective in this channel here. But of course, the unedited reaction that we had when watching this is on Patreon if you want to check that out as well. So we're introduced to a lot of new characters that were not involved at all into the first season of Blue Lock. And now that they've reassigned the number system as far as who's on top, we have the number 3 and number 4 out of the top 6 right now. Now we know the number 1 is Ren, who is just capable of doing a lot, as he had that blind shot, which was absolutely amazing. And then we had number 2. Number 2 is quite a crazy case. Old dude seems to be like a very powerful scorer, and it seems like when he gets closer to the goal, he's able to change his body to whatever it needs in order to be the best effective use in order to score. In this case, he did like a blind back heel shot. So he hit the ball with his left foot, popped it in the air, and then when it was in the air, he used his right heel to smack the ball backwards into the goal without really looking. He can look to the side, but he can't twist his head all the way around as he's hitting this back shot. But he knows how the goal is, where it should be, and just the improbability of this happening just threw so many people for a loop, but he was able to make that score. But then we get to the number 3 and number 4. Now, as before, number 3, we get the assassin. He's able to assess people and know their weaknesses. And what he likes to do is understand who's the weakest and then draw them out, take them out of the equation, or attack the weakness of other people. In this case, in this episode, we saw him challenging Isagi all the time because he feels like Isagi is the weakest on the A team, which, I mean, we don't really know the other 2 players so much so, like enough to ascertain that ourselves as the viewers, but we can see, of course, that Isagi is the main character and he can shatter expectations. So him being on Isagi stopped the possibility of him meshing with Ren a whole lot. So to the point where Ren didn't even pass on the ball or even look towards him, which makes sense. You got a powerful player covering somebody. You don't necessarily gonna pass the ball to them to mess it up. So it's like, okay, all right, kind of makes sense. And then we have number 4, the ninja, who's able to kind of bob and weave behind people and kind of sprint between them and kind of be like quiet while he does it. Seeing the abilities of all these people, it's like, okay, all right, this is pretty cool. And it's good to know because, right now we see them as the enemy, but later, if a lot of them pass and go against the Team Japan, we're going to want to know their abilities in order to see how they're going to attack Team Japan in order to keep Blue Lock alive. Kind of like Bleach, like the second season when, Ichigo is trying to break into Sarate and we see all these characters, and then later all the characters end up being allies to Ichigo. We start learning everyone's abilities and what they use, how their Zanbakuto and such. It's kind of the same way. Like right now they're the enemy, but they could be a very strong ally in the future once everyone's kind of on the same team. And of course, with Blue Lock wouldn't be anything special if it wasn't for the fact that Isagi, we get the background of the puzzle pieces. And here in this case, when a tragedy happens with the number 1 and number 2 kind of butt heads, he starts to realize, wait a minute, I might be able to use this. So I think Isagi's going to end up being the glue that brings everyone together because he has such great special awareness. He's able to kind of learn the skills of everybody, more so than the number 3 assassin guy. He's able to kind of learn the skills of what makes everyone strong and then piece himself in the middle of there and be like, okay, how can I bring myself up to their level? I love the fact that they give us a character where we saw, like, you know, episode 1, he you know, played soccer all right, you know, he was with his team and stuff, but then he's growing more and more powerful with each episode and with each player that he actually comes along with. So I love these moments when he's like getting it all together and it comes together, and that's what made to me season 1 pretty strong and pretty fun to watch. So now that we're going to have him with these upper echelon of characters in the top 6, how does he piece together with them? And this is his only game. He doesn't get to play again. He has to make his stance right here on this one game if he wants to make it to later being able to get into the game against the Japanese team. This, of course, like Blue Lock last season, where we have part of one episode, part of the game in one episode, and then the later part in another episode, as long as it's not a very long one. So I assume the way that it is now that the score is 2 against 4, the ending of the game is going to be next week's episode. So I can't wait to see how Isagi's going to put the pieces together and actually show his worth in order to be up against the Japanese team. This is Blue Lock, and this is what I love, and this is what made Blue Lock so good in the first season. So yes, I am looking forward to how they are going to do the storytelling on this. Anyway, that's going to be it for the assessment here. What do you guys think? Please, no spoilers in the comments below, but yes, this is a good dialogue to start from, because I am enjoying Blue Lock season 1, and of course season 2 now is going on. We're just at the beginning, so I'm looking forward to how this whole season is going to turn out. Tell me what you guys think and your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you aren't already. I'd love to hear and see more of you guys in the future. In the meantime, please be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.